Okay, right. In previous classes, we are discussing about that diffusion, how diffusion is developing, and how there is distribution of molecules. What is simple diffusion? Simple diffusion is a process of moving of particles from high concentration to low concentration. From high concentration to low concentration in a medium, there is a movement of particles to attain equilibrium. Until equilibrium, there is movement of particles from high concentration to low concentration. But once equilibrium is reached, means then the movement will be stopped. And that movement, unidirectional movement, means then the diffusion may be fast, I told you. If bidirectional movement is there, when two molecules are moving opposite together, due to collisions, the rate of diffusion may be decreasing. That also we saw in previous class. Then, regarding the diffusion, next point, next topic, diffusion pressure. Diffusion pressure, next topic. This diffusion pressure is a term which is simply written as dP. dP is diffusion pressure. Here, whatever the substance which is diffusing, each and every substance which is being diffused, that will exert or contains, it shows a pressure, that is called what? Diffusion pressure. So the diffusing materials means materials which are moving from high concentration to low concentration. That diffusing materials are ions, they exert a pressure. That pressure called diffusion pressure. That diffusion pressure is simply written as D. When a molecule is moving from high concentration to low concentration, in previous class I shown there, when you take where low concentration of particles are there, means from low concentration to high concentration, there is a movement of the substance. When a substance is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration by a simple diffusion process, these particles will develop a pressure for the movement. The pressure which is developed by diffusing material is called as what? Diffusion pressure. Diffusion pressure is directly proportional to the concentration. If a substance is in high concentration, means then that substance has more diffusion pressure. Which concentration? The concentration of the diffusing material. Suppose sugar is diffusing from here to here, means that the sugar molecule has more concentration of diffusing material. If water molecules are diffusing, means then water molecules have this pressure. Whatever the diffusing material moving in a medium, that material concentration is playing an important role. If this particle concentration is very more, means then more diffusion pressure will develop. Then the diffusion pressure leads to rapid movements. More the diffusion pressure, if diffusion pressure is more, then rapid the movement or rapid the rate of diffusion. If diffusion pressure is more, means then movement is more. That means what we can say, concentration is directly proportional to what? Diffusion pressure. This diffusion pressure is directly proportional to what? Rate of diffusion. See here, concentration is more means diffusion pressure is more. Then diffusion pressure is more means then the rate of diffusion is also more. That means the rate of diffusion of a material is depending on the concentration of the diffusing material. Okay. Here, the movement is passive. Movement of materials or particles by diffusion pressure is passive movement. What is passive movement? The movement of particles by diffusion is passive. Passive means no energy is being involved, without energy involvement. So what happens here is, and it is from a part to other part of cell, from part to other part of the cell. That means from one organelle to another organelle, or from cytoplasm to organelle, like that. Part of the cell to other, or cell to cell. That movement may be cell to cell also. Between adjacent cells also there may be movement, or over short distances. Diffusion can transfer or transport a material over short distances only. By diffusion, it is not possible to move or transport a material over a long distance. Okay, short distances means what? Short distance means from cell to intracellular space, from one cell to cell, like that. That means like intracellular spaces. The movement may be from cell to cell, or one part of the cell to another part of the cell, or short distances, which mean from one cell to intracellular spaces, the gaps which are present between the cells in a tissue. Like that, there is a diffusion taking place. Diffusion is a short distance and it is a passive process where there is no involvement of energy. Please read second point. What is second point? What is given as a second point? Diffusion is directly proportional to concentration. If concentration is more means diffusion pressure will be developing more. The diffusion pressure developed more means then the rate of movement will also be more. dP is directly proportional to the concentration. That means concentration of a diffusing material is more in a medium means diffusion pressure will be developed more. That is one thing. Here, no energy expenditure is there. No energy expenditure. That's why the process is called what? Passive transport. No energy expenditure. And the movement of particles is like random movements. Next point. The molecules move. Movement of particles or the molecules is in a random fashion. There is no particular movement. Particular movement means a directional movement we cannot see. Non-directional movements of particles takes place here. Non-direction, random fashion. Random fashion means in all sides it moving result. It is moving The particle is moving in all sides of the medium. As it is moving in all sides of the medium, the movement is said to be random. Okay, in previous class I shown you where from high concentration to low concentration there is a movement. When there is a movement from high to low concentration, particularly from one area to another area, like that, we cannot say. Okay, here the movement is random fashion where from high concentration to low concentration only taking place every time. Okay, and this diffusion, as energy is not involved here, diffusion is a slow process. Why? Because there is no involvement of energy. It is a slow process. Okay, and not depending on living organism or whatever it is. It is independent process. Independently it is taking place and it is a slow process. Why slow process means? Because there is no energy forces are driven. If energy force, something energy is there means then it can be diffusing very rapidly. Okay. Suppose diffusion is what taking place, a diffusing material may be what I told you. Diffusing material, in previous class I told you diffusing material may be what? A gas or liquid. Okay, then solids, like that. If you see that a diffusing material is gas means then the rate of diffusion is very fast. Okay, see here, rate of diffusion. Gases have more or most rate of diffusion than liquids, which have faster diffusion than solids. Rate of diffusion is seen maximum or more in gas, which is greater than liquids. You know why liquids are faster than solids and gases are faster than liquids means due to their density also. Due to their density and particle movement also, that is also playing an important role. Okay, here this diffusion is very important in plants. Why? Because diffusion is majorly involving in stomata where there is exchange of gases. Okay, here in plants it is an important process. Important process in gaseous exchange. What are gaseous? What are the gases that are being exchanged? In gaseous exchange, it is playing an important role. What are the gases that are being exchanged? Like O2, CO2 within plant body. Within plant body, not only in photosynthesis, within plant body, everywhere there is metabolism taking place. In photosynthesis, CO2 is utilized and O2 is released. But in respiration, O2 is utilized and CO2 is being released. In those two processes, there is taking up of one gas and release of another gas. A cell takes up the needed gas, whether it is a CO2 or O2 based on the process, and there is release like that. Okay. Here, and it involves what? Diffusion is involving in transpiration also. What is a transpiration? Transpiration, loss of vapor of water, loss of water vapor into atmosphere through stomata. That is also involving diffusion process. Okay, and ions are absorbed by roots through diffusion. Absorption of ions is also taking place by simple diffusion, like salt uptake. Okay, and it is a process of short distance transport. Short distance transport in all parts of the plant. In all parts of the plant, transport of a substance over a small distance is carried by the simple diffusion only. Okay, like what is this? What transport of food materials, that we will see later. The process is called as a translocation, that is diffusion. We'll see later. Here, this rate of diffusion, what is the rate of diffusion? Amount of the diffusing materials which are moving from high concentration to low concentration per unit time. That is what we call rate of diffusion. This rate of diffusion is being affected by many factors like temperature. Temperature affects rate of diffusion. That is one thing. Membrane permeability. Membrane permeability. If your membrane is highly permeable, then rate of diffusion will be good. Membrane is impermeable means rate of diffusion is very less. Semi-permeable means average rate of diffusion. Pressure. If any external pressure is applied, then the diffusion will be taking place very effectively. Okay, and concentration. Concentration of the diffusing material, we can say concentration gradient. Concentration is more means then the rate of diffusion is good. Concentration is less means rate of diffusion also less. Okay, this is about simple diffusion process what we discussed in previous class. Along with that, I gave a term diffusion pressure. What is diffusion pressure and the importance of diffusion. Simple diffusion. Simple diffusion is a process where there is transport of movement of materials from high concentration to low concentration. If a material is being moved from high to low concentrations without expenditure of energy, then that process is called what? Simple diffusion. This simple diffusion is responsible for exchange of gases in plant body. It is responsible for transpiration, absorption of ions and salts through simple diffusion. It is responsible for translocation or short distance transport of food materials. And the rate of diffusion is majorly affected by temperature. Temperature is responsible because the temperature will carry this diffusion. Temperature is good means then rate of diffusion will also be increasing. Temperature is less means rate of diffusion will be less. Membrane permeability, pressure, concentration gradient. This is about simple diffusion, which is a type of passive transport. Passive transport is again divided into two types, I told you. Passive transport is again divided into two types. One is simple diffusion, this one complete. Then we'll go for second type of diffusion. Diffusion. In that second type, simple second one, facilitated diffusion. Facilitated. What is simple? I told you. Simple means there is no involvement of any external force. Just diffusion pressure is developed by the particle The diffusion pressure which is developed by the particle itself is responsible for movement. Only diffusion pressure. Only diffusion pressure or dP is responsible. But facilitated diffusion. First of all, what is diffusion? Movement of a particle from high concentration to low concentration is diffusion. But the process is facilitated by some of the carrier molecules. Okay, carrier molecules. If any carrier molecules are facilitating the process of the diffusion, then that process is called as what? Facilitated diffusion. See here, what I told now. So diffusion is depending on what? Temperature, membrane permeability, pressure and concentration. Okay, right. But when a particle is being diffused through a membrane, when a particle is diffused being through a membrane, then the diffusion may be depending on type of the lipids present in the membrane. Yes or no? Type of the lipids present in the membrane. Channel proteins or carrier proteins present in the membrane. Channel proteins, like that. See here, first before going to that facilitated diffusion, just to understand the difference between simple and facilitated diffusion. See here, simple diffusion majorly depends on particle size. Particle size means diffusing material size. If diffusing material is small in size, then it can be moved very faster. Particle size, that is, smaller particles diffuse faster. Larger particles are moving slowly. Okay, here, but if you take the diffusion across a membrane, just now I told you, the diffusion across a membrane, it will depends on the solubility of lipids. Solubility of lipids in membrane. What is the membrane composition? Membrane is made up of what? Lipids are there, carbohydrates are there, proteins are also there. Proteins are present more. Lipids and carbohydrates are also present. Next, lipids are present. Around 40% lipids are present in a membrane that is made up of what? Lipid membrane is made up of phospholipids which are hydrophobic in nature. So that lipid membrane gets what? This one. Permeability. Permeability is depending on the nature of the lipids and protein molecules present. Here, solubility of the membrane and substances in it. What is the substance present in a membrane? Based on that movement. Suppose if any particle is soluble in lipid means, I told you, diffusion across a membrane depends on the solubility of the lipid particle of the membrane. If we take a lipid particle as a diffusing material, from outside of the cell to inside or inside to outside, diffusion taking place for a lipid substance, then what will be the movement? How will be the movement? Here, lipids diffuse through membrane very faster, because if you take lipids are hydrophobic. Even membrane is also made up of lipids. So, lipids diffuse through membrane very faster, because membrane is hydrophobic in nature. The diffusing lipid material or particle is also hydrophobic in material nature. Why? Because due to hydrophobic hydrophobic nature of both. Diffusing material is hydrophobic, and even the lipid membrane is also hydrophobic. Okay, that is okay. But other materials are particles, diffusing particles with hydrophobic groups. When a particle has a hydrophobic moieties, suppose a lipid particle can be crossed across through the membrane very easily, but if a diffusing material is a hydrophobic substance, means then the movement is not very easy. So the particles which are hydrophobic in nature, they are difficult to pass the membrane, to pass or to move across the membrane. Across the membrane, movement of particles is somewhat difficult for hydrophobic groups, so that this movement is facilitated by membrane proteins, which are called as carrier proteins. In membrane, in membrane there is presence of two types of proteins. What are two types of proteins present in membranes? Anyone? Membrane has two types of proteins. What are they? Yeah. Hydrophobic moieties. MOIETY. Yeah, intrinsic proteins and extrinsic proteins. Intrinsic proteins are called as integral proteins. Extrinsic proteins are called as peripheral proteins. The integral proteins act as channel proteins. I told you when we discussed about the structure of plasma membrane. Moiety means groups. Moiety means group. Hydrophobic moiety is group. In chemistry, you might study that. Okay, movement has to be facilitated. Here, that membrane proteins help in such movement. What facilitated movement is being facilitated or helped for this hydrophobic moieties. Okay, here also concentration gradient is required. What? High concentration to low concentration gradient. Okay, here there must be a concentration gradient for carrier proteins. For diffusion, even carrier proteins are making diffusion. That carrier proteins also need a concentration gradient which is must present already. Okay, even the movement is facilitated by the membrane carrier proteins. For that proteins also there is a need of existing concentration gradient. If a concentration gradient is readily available or already present, then that molecules will take up that concentration gradient and they mediate. This movement. What movement? Movement of particles across a membrane with the help of membrane proteins based on the concentration gradient is called facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is a process where membrane carriers are responsible for transport of molecules across a membrane against, across a membrane based on concentration gradients, which is facilitated by the membrane carrier proteins. Okay. Note down this. Copy this fastly. Complete? Yes, very good. Very good. Yes, good. Harshita, Lohitini. Where is Vaishika? Sumedha? No, sir. Okay, note down, note down. Take time, no problem. Fourth point. Hydrophobic. Hydrophobic. Wait. Wait 1 second, please. Lipids diffuse through membrane very faster due to hydrophobic. Difficult to move means hydrophilic. Sorry, hydrophilic here. I wrote correctly. Hydrophilic. Yes, done. Then I will erase. Thank you. This is what we call facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is a process where diffusion by the concentration gradient is activated or helped by the membrane carrier proteins. So the proteins, special proteins which help in the movement, they are called as what? Channel proteins. So what? Carrier proteins facilitate diffusion, diffusion without energy. That's why the process is included under passive process. These carrier proteins are facilitating the diffusion process without using ATP as energy. Okay, but it cannot transport from low to high concentration. Low to high concentration means against the concentration gradient, against the diffusion gradient. From low concentration to high concentration, there is no transport because there is no energy is involving. From low concentration to high concentration, suppose if a person moves onto top of the building, he falls. Then the process is very easy. Falling from top of the building to onto earth, that is very easy. No energy is required. Okay, that is simple process. But moving from bottom to top means some amount of energy is required. As energy is not being involved here, there is no net movement of particles from low to high concentration. The person will die or live or survive, that is the next matter. I am focusing majorly on energy. Falling from building to ground means no energy is needed. In lifting from bottom to top means some energy should be spent. That is, there is no net movement from low concentration to high concentration. Okay, but movement from low to high concentration is there means that needs energy. If a molecule is moving from low concentration to high concentration, low to high concentration means that is against concentration gradient or against diffusion gradient. Against concentration gradient from low to high, that is what we can say. This needs energy. Energy is needed means that is what we can say active transport. Okay. Here, and transport process is depending on the activity of the proteins. Suppose if all proteins of membrane in saturation means all proteins which are present in a membrane are working, then this rate is maximum. Facilitated diffusion will be at maximum rate when all proteins of a membrane are in saturation. That means one membrane has suppose 10 channel proteins. All channel proteins are carrying from high concentration to low concentration means then the rate of facilitated diffusion will be very maximum. Okay, and as membranes are not allowing all particles in as all membranes are semi-permeable or that semi-permeable nature we can say selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means only few types of molecules can only be allowed through the membrane. As the membranes are selectively permeable, that facilitated diffusion is very specific. Very specific means only one type of chemical molecule can only be carried. Highly specific process because membranes are selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means only few types of chemicals be transported. Only few type of chemicals. All chemicals will not be transported. Okay. Only selected particles will only carried. That's why it is said to be very specific. Very specific means selected particles only diffuse. Not all particles, selected particles. That means the membrane selection is important here. And if any inhibitors present, when inhibitors present, rate of diffusion slows down. That means membrane carrier proteins are sensitive to inhibitors. Carrier proteins which are mediating facilitated diffusion, they are sensitive to the inhibitors. Sensitive to the inhibitors means then there is no movement of the particle. Movement of particle is decreased. Okay. Here, see now just a membrane structure and the carrier proteins. I will tell you some of the membrane proteins, membrane structure I am drawing here, which is bilayer of a lipid bilayer structure. A rough diagram I am drawing here. This diagram is given in NCERT also, you can refer. Suppose this is a membrane, and in that membrane there is a presence of an integral protein or intrinsic protein which is present at the middle of the membrane continuously. This is a membrane. This is a membrane. In middle of the membrane there is presence of a channel protein. With this channel protein, suppose this is one membrane, Usually, if a substance has bimembrane structure, some organelles have two layers of membrane. Two layers of membranes are also seen in some organelles. Double membranous structures like this. This is another membrane. The particles which is present here suppose these are the particles which are being carried. This particle will bind with the carrier protein here. This is the particle which is being moved. This will move towards. I will use another pen. This is a carrier protein I am showing here. This is carrier protein. So this carrier protein, as per concentration gradient, the particles which are present in high concentration from one membrane, they will combine here with the carrier protein, and through that carrier protein they are moving inside. Okay, from this they are released here. Again they combine here, and finally they move to opposite side. See here, what is this? This is a lipid membrane. This is a channel protein or a carrier protein. Carrier protein is holding or transporting the substances from high concentration to low concentration. Once they are moved there then equilibrium gradient will develop. Once equilibrium gradient developed means then saturation or there is no movement. Once equilibrium is attained means then there is no movement. Note on this. Note on that. Firstly, yeah, complete. Good. Up to 12:45. Up to 12:45 as per given time. Yeah, completed. Good. So, carrier proteins which are present in membrane, they are facilitating the diffusion of particles from high concentration to low concentration. So here diffusion is facilitated or encouraged by a protein. That's why the process is called as a facilitated diffusion. Yes, thank you. See here, the proteins of membrane, the proteins of membrane, they form channel. The proteins of membrane form channel to pass for the molecules to pass through. For particles to pass through a membrane, these membrane proteins what are present in them, they are acting as channels. Here some channels are always open. Some channels are always open and some channels are always open, some are controlled. Controlled means whenever there is a need, then only the channel protein will allow, otherwise it will not allow. Some are controlled and some proteins are, some channels are large and they will allow various substances. Some may be very large in size carrier protein channel, they will allow various types of substances. So here, see here, some channels are always open, I told you. Some channels are controlled. Controlled means whenever there is a need, then only opening, otherwise the channel proteins will not function. Some channels are large in size. Large in size means various types of molecules will be transported. Small in size means movement is not well. So, based on these all factors, we can say facilitated diffusion is majorly depending on the type of the proteins and type of the channel present here. Okay, so facilitated diffusion is based on the type of the channel proteins, and these channel proteins make small pores on membrane for transport. Due to presence of the channel proteins in the membrane, some places membranes have small structures which are called as pores in the membrane. Especially these proteins are called as what? Porins. Porins, as seen in plastids outer membrane. Plastid and mitochondria. Plastids and mitochondria are made up of two membranes, I told you. What is the permeability of two membranes? Which membrane is more permeable? Which membrane is less permeable? Plastids and mitochondria, they have two membranes. Outer membrane and inner membrane. Which membrane is permeable? Which membrane is impermeable? Plastids, outer membrane is more permeable and inner membrane is selectively permeable or semi-permeable. Outer membrane is more permeable. Why? Because in outer membrane there is presence of pores. The proteins which are present in middle of the membrane, they develop some pores, small hole-like structures. Okay. Due to presence of that pores, that outer membrane is more permeable. Okay. See here, these porins allow particles up to a size of small proteins, small molecule, individual salts or chemical substances means they have very small structure, but small proteins means their molecular weight is more. Even small proteins can also be passed or carried across the membrane with the help of this. Yes, as there is a presence of porin, small pores present in a membrane, that pores can allow even some small size of proteins to cross across the membrane. That is very important. See here, just now I shown you here one membrane, middle particles are being moved, then other membrane. So from, suppose if you take mitochondria or chloroplast, suppose you take a mitochondria. In mitochondria, here outer membrane is more permeable when compared to inner membrane. Here, what happens now? A molecule which is present here outside the cell, because this is outer membrane, this is inner membrane, this is outside of the membrane. The molecule which is present in extracellular space outside the cell, now they bound to transport the protein which is present here. I write some membrane here. This is what outer membrane. Here there is presence of a carrier. To this carrier protein, there is binding of a substance extracellular. That protein, then it is released across the membrane. Again, suppose if it is a single membrane, another carrier protein what is present here, then it will release to the cell. The membrane which is present extracellular space that bound to transport protein, and that transport protein is responsible for the movement. How transport protein is responsible means, suppose if you take a membrane, this is a membrane and this is a protein. To this protein there is a binding of a molecule being diffused. Now, after binding of this molecule to the protein will rotate. See here, this is outside of the membrane, otherwise this is outside of the cell, this is inside of the cell. Okay, to this there is binding of a molecule which is being transported. To the transport exchange protein, there is binding of a substance to be diffused. Then this protein will rotate. Now there is release. Here first there is binding. Here first there is binding of a substance. This is outside of the cell. To the outside of the cell there is binding of a substance to the protein. This is the substance, this binds with this protein outside of the cell. This is a membrane. Then once that substance is bound with this protein rotates. After rotating, what happened? The substance which is present at outside of the cell, it became inside of the cell. Now what is present here? Cytoplasm is present inside the cell. Into the cytoplasm, now it will be released. Like that. Write that point. Write that point. Extracellular molecule bind to the protein. Extracellular molecule bind to the protein, comma, then protein rotates. Then protein rotates and releases the molecule into the cell, inside the cell. Releases the molecule inside the cell. And suppose if you see carrier proteins, the carrier proteins may be moving, transporting materials like unidirectional or bidirectional or multidirectional. Suppose take a membrane, a rough diagram. A membrane is here. In the membrane, there is a presence of some carrier proteins. This is a carrier protein. This is one carrier protein. This is another carrier protein. A membrane is some carrier proteins. If a carrier protein is allowing transport of only single substance, only one substance in only one direction, then that carrier protein or movement is called uniport transport. Uniport means only one side movement, one direction, from one side to another side, single directional movement. Otherwise, if two substances are moving from one side to other side, both are moving in same direction. Both are moving in same direction, but it is allowing two substances to move. Then it is called symport movement. But some of the carrier proteins or channel proteins which are present in membrane, they will allow movement of particles from inside to outside, outside to inside at same time. These type of particles which are showing both side movement, that is called as antiport movement. So movement of particles from one side to outside, from one side to another side. This is what? This is membrane. This maybe we can consider outside or inside. Inside of cell. This is inside. This we can consider outside. Or this inside, that outside, no problem. When a molecule is being moved across a membrane, if a porin or a transport protein, which is a channel protein, if it is allowing single substance for one movement, single substance at a time, there is movement of only one substance or one molecule can be diffused through the channel protein, one by one only movement. One time, one movement, one molecule movement. Then it is called as uniport. If two molecules are being moved in same direction at same time, two different molecules can be moved at same direction at same time, then it is called as what? Symport. At same time, if two different molecules are moving in opposite directions, this is compound A, substance A is moving from outside to inside. Same time, substance B is moving from inside to outside at same time. This is what we call antiport movement. Write few points regarding this. Some carrier proteins, some carrier or channel or transport proteins. Write 3 sentences, 3 lines enough. Some carrier or transport or channel proteins allow diffusion allow diffusion only if two types of molecules move together. Continuation. In symport, both molecules cross the membrane. In same direction. And in antiport, two molecules cross the membrane, and in antiport two molecules cross the membrane in opposite directions. Write next point. When a molecule moves across a membrane, when a molecule moves across a membrane, independent of other molecules, the transport is called uniport. These are three types of transport by different channel proteins present in a membrane. Channel proteins may be moving, or they are facilitating diffusion by single substance, which is called as uniport. Two substances are required for moving together, means if movement of two substances in same direction, that is called as symport. If two particles are moving in opposite directions at the same time, then they are called as antiports. Okay, this is about what diffusion, passive transport, and C, active transport. Next, active transport. What is this active transport means? Movement is against concentration gradient. Against concentration gradient means movement is against concentration gradient. Against concentration gradient means from low concentration to high concentration. As the movement is from low concentration to high concentration, it needs energy. That needs energy input. Some amount of external energy we need to supply for the process. Okay, that process, as there is involvement of energy, then the process is called what? Active transport. This active transport is also carried out by membrane proteins. The membrane proteins only responsible for active transport. Active transport is also carried by membrane proteins. Okay, that means membrane proteins are involving in both active and passive transport. Membrane proteins involve in both active and passive transports. When it is active, when from low concentration to high concentration there is a movement, then it is active. Same protein, when it is moving from high concentration to low concentration transport, then there is no need of energy, then it is what? Passive transport. Both active and passive transport. Okay, here that membrane proteins are there, na? Membrane proteins have pumps. Pumps are there. Here there are proteins, or these are pumps are there which are present in membrane proteins. That pumps are some membrane proteins which are present here. They use energy. They use energy for transport. For the transport of active mode, there is presence of some pumps, sodium potassium pump, like that pumps which are responsible for pumping from low concentration to high concentration. Okay, as this movement is what I told you, movement is low to high concentrations. As movement is low to high concentration, this is called uphill transport. Uphill transport. Uphill transport. Okay. What is uphill transport? From bottom to top, low to high. Then maximum rate is seen when all proteins, all pumps are in saturation. When all membrane proteins are working for active transport, then the active transport rate will be maximum. Okay. Here some enzymes. The carrier proteins are there, na? They are specific across the membrane. What we can say? These are also highly specific. Highly specific. Highly specific for carriers. Wait 1 second. See here. Proteins. What are proteins? Pumping proteins are specific for substances, particles, like enzymes. Enzymes are highly specific to substrate, right? As enzymes are highly specific to their substrates, these proteins can also carry only specific particles only across the membrane. Okay, these are also what these proteins. Channel proteins are also sensitive to inhibitor. Sensitive to inhibitor. If there is any inhibitor, then the rate of this active transport will also be decreased. Okay? Inhibitor. If any inhibitor is there, means then the rate of active transport will be decreased also. Okay. Like just now I told na symport antipodes. That symport antipode also can be seen in active transport process. Okay. This is simple, very simple about active transport. Active transport means what? movement of particles is from low concentration to high concentration. As movement is from low to high, they need energy. As energy is required, that is called as what? Active transport. Movement is from low to high means that is what we call uphill transport. That's all. Okay, just now I told you, falling from building to ground means very easy, no need of energy. If we are moving from bottom to top means that there is need of energy, uphill movements. This is simple active transport. Then in next class we will see about a comparison between passive and active transports, and next we will go to transport of different materials in plants. Okay, enough for now. You can have your lunch. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, have a nice day.